Hey guys, what's going on? I'm back with another video. Happy Wednesday to you. Wednesday before Thanksgiving. It's that time of the week again. We're going to go through all the football games going on this week. Week 12, season's flying by. Tell you who I think is going to win. Win, lose, all that stuff. Picks, prediction, discussion, all that. So it's Thanksgiving. Really just like the most football day of the year, I would think. You got 3 games on Thanksgiving. You got high school football, college football, just football coming out the wazoo. Gonna love it. So it's really, this is like just the ultimate picks video, in my opinion. Favorite time of the year. Holidays, football. What's not to love? So we're gonna go through all the games going on this week, just like we always do, and tell you when things gonna win. Been pretty accurate this year, it feels like, for the most part. So we'll see if we can keep that going. First game tomorrow, 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. So these are gonna be different times because it's Thanksgiving than we're used to. We're going to Minnesota Vikings, Detroit Lions. Got Minnesota winning this game pretty handily. Even though I wouldn't sleep on Detroit. I mean, I know Detroit's 6-4, Minnesota's 8-2. Detroit, I feel like the Detroit Lions are the Chargers of the NFC. Like, they're good, but in a lot of their games, they're just, you know what I mean? Like, they come close. It's always close and no cigar with them. But it's, I think Stafford, I think it's I don't know. It's always kind of been that way forever with them. They haven't had any postseason success. Just year after year, close but no cigar. Whereas the Vikings, on the other hand, are legit. I'm pretty sure the Vikings are the healthiest team in the league just in terms of injuries. I think they've got like 2 players questionable on their injury report. They're kind of keeping it intact, keeping the trains running on schedule. Teddy Bridgewater, I don't know if he's playing. I don't think he's not playing yet, right? I know he's practicing. Let me just see real quick. I mean, the guy, it feels like he's been gone for like 6 years. Yeah, no, Case Keenum's still playing. The other thing about that, though, is it's kind of like with Dak Prescott and Tony Romo. Like, Tony Romo comes back from his injury, and they stick with Dak Prescott because they see how well we're doing. I feel like the same thing with the Vikings and Teddy Bridgewater, because it's not that Teddy Bridgewater's bad, but it's like it's week 12 and you're 8-2. Do you really want to start screwing with the quarterback position? So I mean, I would just keep going the way they're going. I mean, if you lose, then I guess maybe you plug in Bridgewater, see what he's got. But anyways, I got the Vikings winning this game. The Vikings, on the other hand, like, the Vikings are a team that were quiet for like 15 years, it seems like. Like in the 1990s, like Minnesota Vikings, that's where it was at. Like late 90s, Randy Moss. Just that's really what it was. Always Vikings always going up against the Cowboys, and then the Vikings just kind of sucked for years. They got Adrian Peterson. Not that didn't bring him a lot of postseason success. I don't have a high opinion of Adrian Peterson going into it. I should probably tell you that. But in the last few years, like I'd say like 2015, 16, 17, the Vikings have always been in the conversation, going to the playoffs each year. So it seems like they kind of keep, it's almost like a road to nowhere, because, I mean, I guess the window's open this year more than anything else. Like, this is a year where, other than the Patriots, the Steelers, and the Eagles, the door's wide open. Like, those 3 teams are running the show. But it feels like, especially in the NFC, where there's like, other than the Eagles, there's like no clear, best team like there usually is. It's really just kind of the Eagles and then like 5 other teams or so. It seems like this could be their year, Minnesota. But anyways, we'll see what happens. Anyways, I got the Minnesota Vikings winning this game. Next game up, it's the LA Chargers. I'm calling it the San Diego Chargers. Coming to the LA crap. San Diego Chargers, Dallas Cowboys. Chargers are 4-6. Cowboys are 5-5. I got the Chargers winning this game. The Cowboys, ever since Ezekiel Elliott finally took his suspension, they've just been in a complete free-for-all, just getting embarrassed last week by the Eagles. I think, really more than anything else, I think Ezekiel Elliott, who, again, so like Adrian Peterson, somebody I don't really have a high opinion of just because of their off-the-field situation. Elliott should have served his suspension at the beginning of the season. Now, of course, he's got a right to have his due process, which he had, but all it did, and I mean, everybody kind of knew this, all it did was just kind of stall the suspension until later in the season. The problem with that is you need to, this part of the season, this is crunch time when you need to win the games. You know what I mean? Like, the beginning of the season, it's like, oh, we don't have him. You got time to learn how to, play without him and maybe trade or do what you got to do to stay in the game. Now, trade deadline's over. The teams that are, the men have been separated from the boys. Get the pun with Cowboys, man, whatever. But it's at the point now where your team is your team. Like, whoever's gonna swim's gonna swim, and whoever's gonna sink's gonna sink. Sink. Excuse me. So in the same way, like Elliott, you should serve your suspension at the beginning of the season. Let your team, figure out how to win without you instead of having the team be just dependent on you and then just disappear for 6 games at the end of the season. And that's kind of, what's going on here. Now they're 5-5. So that's kind of, the end of, that's really the end of the Cowboys for this year, I would say. The Chargers, on the other hand, are a team that I really want to see do well. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like they're 4-6. They're always in close games. They got personality. Screw that LA thing. I can't stand that, but that wasn't really the player's decision. But it feels like the Chargers should be in it, and they're just not. But they have what it takes, though, is what I would say. I think that playing in the AFC West doesn't help. Just the teams that they've had to play, the situations that they've been in. It's not easy. I mean, shouldn't really make excuses for them, but it's like I just want to see them in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Because it's a team that I think has it, but just for one reason or another, just can't seem to kind of come out with the W. So so it's basically two opposite trend lines. Cowboys are on their way down. Chargers are kind of looking up. I got the Chargers winning this game. Next game, New York Giants, Washington Redskins. Got the Redskins winning this game. Giants suck. I thought it was interesting that I saw this headline where it said, like, Eli Manning really rallied the Giants in their last game, to try to get them, to try to, get a win in the last game. Like, that's why they won, is he really got the team going. They scored 12 points, and the game had to go to overtime. Like, if that's what rallying the troops is, like, he rallied the troops, and they scored 12 points and had to go to overtime. Like, I mean, what a sad situation with them. Anyways, got the Redskins win this game. Next game, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Atlanta Falcons. Got the Falcons winning this game. Cleveland Browns, Cincinnati Bengals. Got the Bengals winning this game. Colts, Titans. I think Jacoby Brissett's still in the concussion protocol. Andrew Luck, like, I don't even. The guy hasn't really played since like 2014. I don't know whatever. I mean, it's basically Tony Romo. I guess I got the Titans winning this game. Next game, Buffalo Bills, Kansas City Chiefs. I got the Chiefs winning this game. The Bills friggin' benching Tyrod Taylor and putting in Nathan Peterman, which they didn't have to do. Like, Taylor was fine. I mean, he not fine, but just like Nathan Peterman comes out and throws 5 picks. Like, you didn't need that. I don't understand. The coaching in the league sucks. It really, like, outside of Bill Belichick. I was gonna say Pete Carroll, but after that Monday Night Football beauty that he did right there. I mean, throwing on the 1-yard line. Or 5-yard line, or no, was it the 1? Yeah, whatever. You get the idea. In the Super Bowl, stupid fake field goal. Like, I can't even really put him up there anymore. Maybe Mike Tomlin. I mean, really, it's Bill Belichick and then everybody else. Just the coaching in this league. Good God. Anyways, I got the Chiefs winning this game. The Chiefs, losing 2 in a row. They're gonna come out with some passion, I would assume. They just signed Darrelle Revis today, which shows you how desperate that team has become. That you're signing good old Darrelle Revis like it's like 2009 or something, or 10, I guess. Anyways, whatever. So I got the Chiefs winning this game. Next game up, New England Patriots, Miami Dolphins. I got the Patriots winning this game. The thing also about the Dolphins, though, and I think I've pointed this out in like several videos. So the Dolphins are 4-6. They're not making the playoffs. They're done. But the problem with the Dolphins is they've got Ndamukong Suh and Kiko Alonso. Like, if you go down the list, Ndamukong Suh, Kiko Alonso, Bernard Pollard, Vontaze Burfict. I mean, I know those are people on other teams. And I believe Pollard's retired at this point. But just those types of players, just dirty, dirty, dirty players. That's what you're dealing with the Dolphins. Like, the Dolphins, you know, they're out of the playoffs. They got nothing to play for. They play the Patriots twice a year. I think they play them like twice in 3 weeks at this point. It's the type of thing where they got nothing to play for other than just hurting other players. Like, I feel like Dominic Sue really got nothing to play for, so he's just going to try to take cheap shots on Tom Brady. Like, it's just a dirty team. Horrible chemistry, just the whole thing. Jay Cutler's the quarterback. I mean, just really... You know, if I was the Patriots, I wouldn't even play my starters in this game. It's not worth getting anybody hurt over this team. Anyways, I got New England win this game. Next game, Carolina Panthers, New York Jets. I get the Jets winning this game. The New York Jets, it's like they got rid of all the just bad attitude, dead weight, high salary cap players. And everybody said, oh, well, now they got nobody. They're going to go 0-16. They're 4-6, which, you know, it's not great. But it's much better. People thought they wouldn't win a game this season. Excuse me. So they've really come out of nowhere. And the Panthers are an inconsistent team. They're not, you know, they look like they're like, you know, making a playoff run one week. They blow the next week. I guess, yeah, it's an upset. I got the Jets winning this game. Next game, Philadelphia Eagles, Chicago Bears. Got the Eagles winning this game. So, by the way, the other thing about the Eagles, it is probably not a very popular opinion. I can really strongly make the case that the Eagles, as good as they've looked, have played all garbage teams. Outside of the Chiefs, the Week 2 Chiefs, which are much better than the current Chiefs. The Week 2 Chiefs were unreal. And they lost that game. So their one loss was to the one really good team that they had to play. Pretty much everybody else in their schedule sucks. Or isn't as good as them. So it feels like come playoff time, and then even so, I think the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl because like not only they got this kind of like artificial record, like beating up on the just the dregs of the league, all the worst teams, but who are they going to play in the playoffs in the NFC? We can play the Rams. I mean, that wouldn't even be the first game. I mean, they're going to get a wild card round, you know, first week bye. Then they'll play the lowest seeded team in the divisional round, so that's probably going to be, I don't know, like take your pick. That's probably going to be, I can actually look at it. Hold on. So like if the playoffs started today, you would have in the NFC, so obviously the Eagles would have the #1 seed. Vikings would be #2. Wild card round, you'd have the Falcons playing the Saints, I believe. And then the Panthers playing the Rams. So I would have the... Actually, or... No, you know what? I think it would be the Falcons and the Panthers and then the Saints and the Rams. So obviously I would say the Saints and the... Sammy, yeah, I don't know which team's gonna choke, the Falcons or the Panthers. I got the Falcons coming out of that. So I mean, I guess you'd have the Saints and the Falcons, and then they'd play the lowest seeded team. The Falcons right now are the 6th seed. The Saints would be the 3rd seed, so they'd play the Falcons in the divisional round. The Falcons have choke written all over them. They'd roll over that team. Then you'd have the Saints and the Vikings. I think the Saints would beat the Vikings. And then you'd have the Eagles and the Saints in the NFC Championship game, which would be in Philly in January. I mean, I think the Saints would win that game, honestly, just because of the Saints started off 0-2, playing hard teams, overcoming all that, getting their act together, which is a lot stronger position to be in than the Eagles just beating up on the crap teams. So, I mean, like... You can make the case until the NFC Championship game, the Eagles really aren't going to know how good they are. Now, obviously, Carson Wentz has been on another level. I'm not taking anything away from him. But, you know, you're playing a garbage team. It's easier for your team to look a lot better than it is. That's all I'm saying. So, anyways. Yeah, but as far as this week goes, of course, I got the Eagles beating the friggin' Bears. But, I mean, it just understates it like every week they're playing, you know, just garbage teams. So, anyways, we'll find out. Next game, I have San Francisco 49ers, Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks win this game. New Orleans Saints, LA Rams. That's a good game. Saints and Rams. That'll answer a lot of questions. I mean, that'll show you, you know, who the Saints really are. If they really are, I mean, they're looking scary. But I got the Saints win this game. Saints are 8-2. Rams are 7-3. Yeah, Saints are legit this year, at least at this point. Next game up, Jaguars, Cardinals. I got the Jaguars winning this game. Jaguars 7-3, Cardinals 4-6. Denver, Oakland. Oakland, I got winning this game. Broncos blow. The Raiders have the players, but their coaching's a disaster. But, you know, after losing like six straight, they fired their defensive coordinator. Yeah, I don't know. They have to put out some kind of like representative effort this week, I would hope. So I got the Raiders winning this game. Packers, Steelers. I got the. I'm feeling something with the Packers. I know Aaron Rodgers, if he does come back, it's only going to be if they're in like a playoff position. But even so, they're not getting past the Saints or the Eagles or the Rams or anybody like that. But I feel like they're showing you something these last few weeks. But nonetheless, yeah, the Packers are just all about Aaron Rodgers. I got the Steelers winning this game. Last but not least, we got the Houston Texans and the Baltimore Ravens. Texans are 4-6. Ravens are 5-5. That's not really what this game's about. It's about a team. The Texans, a lot like the Packers, it seems like a lot of teams with injuries. Really about the quarterback. It was about Deshaun Watson, and they don't have him, and ever since they lost him, they've sucked. The Ravens, on the other hand, are a team I'm always heavy on just because they were so good for so long. But yeah, I got the This is typically when the Ravens have gotten in the playoffs. This is when they make their move, like November, December. Really, any team that like starts to pull ahead. This is, you know, when that happens. Like, I got the Ravens win this game. Not that I think they're really going anywhere. I mean, just in the AFC. The AFC, like, the teams that are in the playoffs in the AFC this year, if you asked, like, before the season began, you just asked somebody, you know, if they would believe that these are the teams that would be in, nobody would believe you. Nobody would believe that the Jacksonville Hold on a minute. Just that I want to make sure I don't screw this up, because this is really a doozy this year. Like, this is really... haven't ever seen anything like this before. Nobody would believe that the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Tennessee Titans, the Ravens, all right, just squeaking in with the 6th seed. And then I guess the Chiefs, Steelers, Patriots, everybody expected that. But the Titans, Jaguars, and Ravens, nobody was really high on them. And then in the NFC, who expected that the LA freaking Rams, the Saints, the Falcons, well, I guess the Falcons, all right, fine. The Panthers, actually, screw that the Eagles would be the number 1 seed. Screw those other teams. Who would have thought that the Eagles would be the number 1 seed in the NFC, and that the Rams would be in, and the Saints would be in? What a year. I mean, typically, like, playoffs are started today. Cowboys aren't in it. Giants aren't in it. Seahawks aren't in it. You know, Cardinals aren't in it. Buccaneers aren't. Like, all the teams everybody thought would be in it are out of it. AFC, Broncos aren't in it. Raiders aren't in it. You know, Texans. You know, I mean, I guess nobody's surprised that the Browns aren't in it. But it's just, what a year. Just unbelievable. But, anyways, guys, excuse me. Anyways, guys, that's good for this video. Hope you enjoyed this one. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. And other than that, until next time, that's going to do for this one, guys. Thanks for watching.